Welcome to the True North Compliance Podcast, where we discuss regulatory and compliance issues for Canadian business.
Hello, I'm Sean O'Hara, and thanks for listening. My guest today is Ray Brougham, who is the president and CEO of Rainhouse Manufacturing Canada Limited, which is a leading CNC machining and contract manufacturing company based in Victoria, BC. If you're wondering, CNC stands for Computer Numerical Control. It refers to a manufacturing process where computers control machine tools like mills, lathes, routers, and laser cutters to shape materials with high precision. Ray began his career as a Red Seal journeyman millwright before earning a mechanical engineering degree from the University of Victoria. Since founding Rainhouse in 2001, Ray has grown the company to serve major clients in defense, technology, and medical sectors. He's also recognized for his active involvement in community development and supporting the next generation of engineers. Well, welcome, Ray. I thought we could start off by you tell me about Rainhouse Manufacturing and a bit more about what you do.
Well, thanks for having me on, Sean. So yeah, we're a BC-based manufacturing company, and our core services are CNC machining, electronics manufacturing services, design and development, testing and procurement, and contract manufacturing. So we call ourselves from idea to done is our tagline, because we're a one button to push for many larger companies that just want to parse off a certain amount of work and not have to worry about it. So that's where we add value.
Okay. And where do your customers come from?
Fair bit is from defense. So we're pretty involved with the Victoria in-service support contract for the Canadian submarines. We also work in the medical industry for companies like Cardium, a Vancouver-based company that's developing heart surgery equipment. We work in the marine industry a lot because we're here on the West Coast. And we do some research work. Right now, we're kind of at a slow point in that area, but we're really looking at growth in defense and the marine industry for sure. We just got into aerospace work. I guess we'll talk about that later, but that's a new emerging market for us.
Neat. Yeah, I took a tour of your facility. It was impressive.
Yes.
So what made you get into this?
Really good question. So I came here from the wood products industry, and my goal was to get an engineering degree so I could go back to that industry and be an expert. And that's because I was working as a maintenance superintendent in a sawmill, and we were doing the largest sawmill in North America was in Houston, BC. And I was working with a lot of engineers, and I really liked the work they were doing. So I thought, I think I'll just quit my job and go back to school and get an engineering degree. And then at the time, my target was Russia. I thought, Russia, it does a terrible job of wood products, pulp and paper. And so I'd be valuable out there. Turns out that wasn't a good idea, as I found out later. And so now I'm in Victoria and I can't get a job. So what did I do? Start a business. And I was in the middle of doing a master's degree in mechanical engineering. And the business won. I ended up doing something very interesting, working with a company called Redland Technologies. I built a whole facility with them. And most of the equipment that they use today was built by Rainhouse Manufacturing. So I'm super proud of that because they are owned by Canon. It's a huge company. And they make world-class detectors for gamma ray and X-ray detection. So especially in the CT scan market.
It's fascinating. So what do you love about all of this and building things and so on? Like what drives you?
Yeah, well, I think we make things matter for people. We work a lot with customers as partners, and we love to see things come off paper and become real. Many times we're just making parts, and everybody here is curious, like, what does this fit into? What does that what does the end product look like, and how much of it is what we did. So it's exciting to see people realize their dreams because they're not manufacturers, and we offer design for manufacturing services, and that just means, how can we make this more cost effectively and robust for your application. So that doesn't happen in every case, but when it does, it's really neat to be able to help. For example, we helped a company develop a bomb bay for a drone, and for not what you think. It's for preventing avalanches by knocking them down before they hurt people. So that was very interesting work.
Good. So it's the smaller piece of the small piece of the big picture.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I saw a chart once that had a list. I think it was for an astronaut, from how many millions of people were involved in getting that one person on the moon.
Oh, yeah.
From everything that they did. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What are the core values of Rainhouse?
Integrity, definitely. We like to do the right thing and make it matter for our customer. Excellence, obviously, is constant process improvement. Currently, I'm working with Anders Nielsen. We're starting the Vancouver Island Manufacturing Excellence Alliance. It's all based on, constant improvement, and so we're both experts in different areas. Anders is an expert in lean processes, and I think I'm an expert in collaboration and getting people to work together. So I think it's a great combination now, given, the times we're in. That's the first two core values: accountability, transparent communication. We're very customer focused, and we love to have long-term relationships. We've got customers that have been since the inception of the company still with us. And so that's a testament to how we partner, and of course, community. Like we are pretty involved with the community, with especially with the University of Victoria. We run an engineering showcase. Put it in your calendar. April 2nd of 2026, we will be at the Perks Arena, and we're going to have a huge, huge event that will definitely get people aware. What are we trying to do is raise awareness about manufacturing and engineering, and we can do this in Victoria, and it's fun, right? Because we get to build rockets, satellites, robots, all kinds of things that are bright young minds are putting together, and we get to be part of that. So amazing.
That's April 2nd, 2026.
That's correct.
So that's larger. That's larger than last year's then, if you're going to Perks.
Yeah, we are repositioning the event because we wanted to get more involvement. We sponsor 12 engineering teams at UVic. We're doing something with the Fix-It Robot teams, grade school teams. And we were talking to UVic, our partner, about how we could make this bigger. And they said, well, if we move this from September to April, then we can have all the capstone projects. So in addition to everything we do, we'll have 16 capstone projects being showcased. So it's a little bit different, right? The capstones are for marks. All the other teams are competing around the world, and I mean that literally. Some of the robot teams have traveled to China, to Australia, to the United States, and they many great stories about that, but they never get to compete in their own town. And this is great. If you think about it, it's great because your friends and family can come. It's kind of a friendly competition across a whole bunch of different areas, and employers are there. So I think it's a great way to do what I want to do, is grow the manufacturing sector in Victoria and on Vancouver Island.
Yeah, that'll be huge. And being at Perks Arena too.
Yeah.
It will be much more open to the public.
Yeah, we just booked the event. It's that field house. It's a huge building that, I don't know if you've ever been there, but I think it's got, I don't know, half a dozen tennis courts in it under one roof. So it's a massive facility, which will be just about right for what we need.
Okay, excellent. And I'm glad you mentioned Vimea too.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on that and what's happening?
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of interest. There's the structural things that have to be done. I just in the process of forming a society. We've had some very good discussions with the South Island Prosperity Program to help us get this off the ground. And we're trying to put together half a dozen companies that really want to push hard on this idea and generate some success stories by making case studies and helping people understand what that is. What is, lean manufacturing? Well, the best way to see it is not to dig into a book and learn about the 8 ways and 5S and Kaizen. It's kind of boring. But when you could show people, this is what we used to do, this is what we do now, this is the benefit, our return on investment was X number of weeks, then you could start to see that it's not that hard. And that's what Anders is going to be doing. He's an expert in this area. He's set this up in Ontario years ago with ABB, huge company, and all their partners. And today is still going. So it's a testament to, something that works, lasts a long time. So I think it's around 30 years that this has been going on in Ontario. I'd love to see that happen here. And not only is it, helping people get lean in their manufacturing, and as you well know, our GDP per person is not good. And so this will help that area. But I think the other side of it that's really subtle is we'll be working together and we'll get to know each other. And if you know people and companies, then you can start to think about partnering. And that's what we're good at. Every time we do that, we win. We punch above our weight and we look like a huge company when we're just 25 people. So really we're a tiny company competing in a global market now. And we could go on and on about the advantages, like I think about tariffs and what it's done for us. It's just mustering people to do things more efficiently and just go for the little harder things that can really grow our economy. So I'm excited. That's why Andrews and I started Vimea, and I think with John Jurisic's help from the Sydney Breakfast Club, kind of gave us a platform. And I remember being on a panel and seeing the interest and the sparkle in people's eyes, going, "Yes, I think this is a great idea to get going." So we've got that initial push, and I think watch us for the next few months. We have a group on LinkedIn. Just search VIMEA, and you'll get there pretty quick. I think we have 90 members currently signed up.
I'll put that in the show notes too.
Great idea.
The LinkedIn and then the Sydney Breakfast Club. But there was a podcast that was done, so I'll record that. And that's where we first met too, was in that group.
Yeah, that's right.
So what kind of businesses are you looking for Vimea?
A manufacturing business. So, and that could be pretty broad. We're talking to people like Nicholson Manufacturing, VMAC, just to name a couple. There's a huge scope here. I just had my vehicle wrapped with a paint protection film at a company called Rainhouse. And if you want an example of a place that's set up lean, funny enough, his shop is like a hospital. It's clean. Everything is organized. It's all the toolboxes are the same color. I just had my car wrapped, and he says, "Bring it back in a week and I'll check it over, make sure everything's good." And so I parked the car outside, and they backed out a car they'd just been working on, washed the floor under it, which was clean, and then drove my car in. And so that's the kind of thing you don't see. Like, I don't know about you, but I've been in lots of shops like that, and they're a mess. This place was beautiful. So that's just an example of lean processes in every industry. Makes sense. We're going to concentrate on manufacturing, but we'd welcome Renison to our group any day, because I'm sure he could help us, especially on the cosmetic side of things and getting things looking consistent and make it so that the customer experience is better.
It's neat. Lots of consistency. Well, we'll certainly be following the Vimea and how that grows.
Yeah.
So Ray, with all of the the tariffs that are happening in the current situation, which has been the incentive for Vimea, how do you see that, let's say, helping or becoming the silver lining?
Absolutely a silver lining. I equate it to this same sort of situation as we had with the pandemic, where we pulled together and we figured out how to do things in a better way. I think we've been a little bit lazy and had an easy market with the United States, and things were very amicable. Now that we no longer have that relationship with that country. I just went to Ottawa for a big defense conference. There's a lot of talk about how we can work with the EU and other countries. We're currently going to send a couple of us to Mexico in the fall to partner with companies that have U.S. suppliers, and now it's difficult for them to want to work with them. And we're going to be a great alternative. So I could see us having better ties with the EU and with countries like Mexico that are looking for ways around the problem, right? So that's what entrepreneurial people do, is they figure out how to get around a situation. And in this case, I think, honestly, I think it's going to be great for our country. I think it seems like everybody is on the same page, and that doesn't happen very often.
Yep. It's what I've noticed. And the push to do things locally, to buy locally, because for decades, people have said it would really help if we bought locally, if we shopped locally,
Yeah.
and people have ignored that. And now, and the benefits to our economy are huge.
Yeah.
So now there's a good incentive for that.
Well, I think we got to be careful too, not to let our guard down, because we said all those things during the pandemic and then nothing happened. So this is a more extreme situation for sure. And it's the second time around. So, fool me once, that's okay. Fool me twice. But if we do it 3 times, then we're just plain stupid. So I hate to say it, but I think we just got to get our act together. And, Canada, I think, should be the most prosperous country in the world. We have so much in resources, and we have so much that we could value add. And I know it's difficult because we're a small population, but we got to figure out now with AI and all kinds of tools that we have available, robotics, automation, all those things can help us do better, right? I hear we're just going to start manufacturing beer cans in Canada. That should have been happening before, just like we should have been making masks and vaccines during the pandemic. We had those indicators that we should be doing things different. So hopefully we're learning from history and going to do better.
Maybe a difference is that during the pandemic and the lockdown, we started to do this, but we wanted to go back to 2019. We wanted to go back to the way things were. So when that opportunity arose, that's what we did. And now we can't go back. We don't want to go back. We have that damaged relationship.
Yeah.
So now we're forced to expand.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the boats have been burned and we've got to keep going.
Yeah, easy is not always the best solution. So to think a little bit further ahead and be more strategic, right? You think 5 years ahead or 10 years ahead, what is this going to look like? So I think we've learned all the lessons. Well, at least I have. So hopefully I can get people on board with this kind of thinking, and I'm not the only one. And so hopefully this becomes more visible and more of a opportunity that really needs to be capitalized on. And it's not just for money, right? It's for community. It's for how do we live in this world? We can't do anything about the big things that are happening over us, but what we need to do is build a great foundation. And so I encourage people to do what you can in your community to make your community stronger. And then if a whole bunch of communities do that, now it's a whole city, and then it's a whole province, and it's a whole country. But nothing happens, like it doesn't matter what the government says, nothing happens unless that base is there. And so that's how we do our little part here. And that's how personally I approach this. in my life is do what you can and don't worry about the things you can't change. Be aware and then see what you can do at your level to make Canada a stronger country.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, and make this a better
Yeah,
place.
yeah, it is. It's a fantastic place. I've heard
Yes.
that everybody says that. I live in the best place in the world. I'm going to say it too. I had a choice where I was going to live, and I picked Victoria because I think it's a great place, and Vancouver Island, BC. I've lived all over BC and traveled it extensively. I used to have my own plane. I thought I was going to be a commercial pilot once, and so I've seen a lot of this province and all of Canada. Really amazing. It's an amazing country.
Yes, I've been here 34 years and I've lived in various spots across the country.
All right.
So that wraps us up. Any final thoughts? Any final words?
Well, thanks for the opportunity for me to share. I hope people will reach out. Like if you're interested at all in what I'm doing with John Jurithic and Anders Nielsen, with Vimea especially, yeah, reach out. We're going to respond, and we hope to really make a difference where we can. And so watch us. Yeah.
What's the best way to reach you?
You could reach me by email, or follow the Vimea group on LinkedIn. Join us there, and we'll communicate that way.
Right, thank you, and I'll put that in the show notes. Well, my guest today has been Ray Brougham from Rainhouse Manufacturing Canada. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Sean. Have a great day.
And that's a wrap.